is the city of Bursa, centuries ago capital of the Ottoman Empire. A modern, progressive city today, it nevertheless has many contacts with the past. In midsummer, you encounter caravans of silk cocoons in Bursa streets on their way to the silk market in the heart of town. This community has long been a center of Turkish silk culture. During the buying season, the silk market is a scene of high activity as morning trading gets underway. Buyers from the silk factories bid for the great baskets of cocoons that will be hustled off to storage warehouses as soon as purchases have been completed. Before looking in on a silk factory, let's visit a silkworm farm. Here you will find mulberry trees, the leaves of which are picked and fed to ravenously hungry silkworms. These insects make short work of leaf after leaf. They feed for about 8 weeks of their lives while in this caterpillar form, and this is the only phase in which they eat. Presently, all interest in food is gone, and each worm undertakes to spin a cocoon for itself. For the next 4 or 5 days, it will spin continuously. 2 tiny spinnerets in the mouth exude a fluid that solidifies upon contact with the air, and a double fiber is formed with which the insect encases itself in one unbroken strand, frequently in excess of 7,000 feet in length. With spinning over, the cocoons go to market. The worm has changed to a dormant chrysalis, as seen in this cut-open cocoon. The chrysalis, while dormant, is killed with steam, otherwise a moth would struggle free, staining the cocoon in the process, as it secretes a fluid dissolving the natural gum holding the fiber in place. At the silk factory, cocoons are processed and transformed into cloth. Of many interesting operations involved, one of the neatest is getting the cocoons unraveled and wound up in convenient form for handling. This problem has been solved more easily than you might expect. In a vat of hot water, a batch of cocoons is agitated with a coarse brush. This softens the outer part, and presently the beginning of that long, continuous strand works free, and the operator catches nearly every individual one on her rough brush. Scanning follows as other workers disentangle the jumbled mass and make long, continuous threads on revolving racks overhead. This is exacting work, and no job for anyone who is the nervous type. But by patiently separating the threads, each fiber can be disentangled, and the cocoons will unravel smoothly from this point on. Once the skeins are removed from the winding racks, they must pass inspection before being dyed. While we will make no attempt to follow the full manufacturing process, let's look in on at least a few of the colorful operations. Here, bobbins are being wound with thread to be worked into fabric the narrow way. They will be shuttled back and forth in the weaving machine, making the woof. Meanwhile, spools are wound with threads to run the long way of the fabric, making the warp. Many spools at a time will be mounted on multiple racks and taken up by large drums, later to be worked off onto rollers and transferred to weaving machines. Here, warp and woof meet as mechanical manipulation enables the pattern to take shape. The bobbins, already wound with colorful threads, will be shuttled back and forth as they are worked into one continuous bolt of cloth. Colorful silk fabrics so manufactured are headed for the bazaars and shops of Turkey, as well as for the more exclusive shops of Paris, London, and Berlin. The entire southwestern area is also very productive agriculturally. Turkish dried fruits have long been a specialty known throughout the markets of the world. Fresh fruit for domestic consumption is equally important. On the Dikencik farm, meaning Little Thorn, the peach harvest is in progress. Bursa peaches enjoy a happy reputation as one of the country's choicest fruits. Those of you familiar with fruit orchards in America would feel very much at home on a Bursa farm. Wagons carry the fruit to the packing sheds, there to be transferred to trucks for distribution. Turkish tobacco is a widely known product. There are large tobacco farms in this area. It is from plants such as these that the mature leaves are picked. Harvesting is a laborious process, for each leaf must be selected individually and picked at the right time and by hand. Before the leaves can be hung in the sun to cure, they must be pierced by a long needle and transferred to stout thread. At the present moment, it looks as though this tobacco farmer is receiving some good supervision from his modern young daughter. Exposure to sunlight for a few days will change the leaves from their original deep green to the rich golden brown of cured tobacco. Sunlight has changed other things in Bursa too. The tiles of the green tomb have, in recent centuries, changed in color to a deep blue, though the structure is still known as the Green Tomb. As an old capital of the Ottoman Empire, before the seat of government was moved from here several centuries ago, Bursa holds the tombs of many Turkish sultans. Bursa has many summertime and holiday visitors, and in visits to this area, a young Turk may learn some of the history of his nation. But whatever was said to this little fellow about history or anything else appears to have had an undesirable effect. Someone is on the verge of tears. However, there is a Bursa way of banishing tears from young eyes. It is Karagöz, which was developed in this city a full 500 years ago. Backstage, an operator manipulates colored figures against a translucent screen. Centuries ago, Turkey had this forerunner of today's color motion pictures. Here, Karagöz is telling its own story. It is used today primarily for the entertainment of children. There may be a period in a Turkish boy's life when he is temporarily confined to bed. There he is happy to be entertained by clowns as capable as these two. While projection of the Karagöz figures involves a very short throw from figure to screen, isn't it essentially the same principle by which this color film introducing Turkey is being exhibited to you? Many talented personalities pass across the Karagöz screen, such as these active dancers who achieve a lifelike quality at the hands of a skillful operator. Their size suggests the clowns may have been dwarfs. Knowing the high esteem in which athletics is held in Turkey, it is not surprising to find this tightrope walker appearing on the scene. He is obviously a skillful fellow, for it seems that with the help of the Karagöz operator, he has acquired the ability to completely disregard gravity. Returning from the play world of Karagöz to reality, we are reminded that beauty is a prominent part of the Turkish scene. Mountains and sandy, oleander-covered beaches serve to emphasize there is a great deal to please the eye in this part of the world. Few areas exceed Turkey's Mediterranean shores for sheer natural beauty.